Now, I'd be surprised if I found one person that doesn't like this guy. And I think it's fair to say over the last few years, he's become somewhat of a legend in the YouTube golf space. He literally looks like he wouldn't be fazed by an apocalypse. However, he has one major flaw. So without further ado, let's get into the analysis of the legend that is it's Fat Perez. Now, this video is going to be split into two parts. The first part is called Simplicity, because Fat Perez has one of the most simple actions in YouTube golf. He's actually got one of the better golf swings in all of the YouTube golf space, and I'm going to get into the swing analysis right now and show you exactly what he does. Right, let's load this up. So we're going to look at this view for this part of the video. When we get to the second part of the video, which is there's a couple things to say, we're going to switch it round to front on view. But firstly, let's just play this in normal speed because it's good to see the rhythm of this guy. Just a nice, free-flowing golf swing, really balanced. From what I can see, from the YouTube stuff that I've seen, because I do watch a bit of Bob Does Sports. I don't watch much YouTube golf as a whole, but I just find them really entertaining. He generally hits a little cut from the videos that I've seen. Sometimes he said he'll hit a draw depending on what he feels on the day, but for the most part, it's a little cut. And there you go, it's just a nice free-flowing action. So that's that part. Now let's get into the actual breaking down this swing. Right, now it's set up, he gives himself quite a bit of space and the club is lying fairly flat, but he's not the tallest guy in the world, so that's probably something to do with it. The hard thing about breaking down YouTube golf swings is that generally when you're filming shot tracers, you need to be directly down the line of the ball or to the right of it. So you never get the perfect view, which would be directly down the hands instead of the ball. So imagine a big circle that is on the same plane as the shaft line. What you see with Fat Perez is that he takes it back, just nicely on plane. At the top of his backswing, his right arm is nicely tucked in front of his body. And from there, his downswing is slightly over the backswing plane. But for a fader of the golf ball, it's not the end of the world. It's not a big over-the-top motion. And what you'll see from legendary swings of the past, Sam Snead, Jack Nicklaus, they both swung over the backswing plane. It's a great way of keeping the arms in front of the body and not getting stuck and not getting behind yourself. And overall, I mean, like I said, simplicity is the word. Just a great looking golf swing. And a lot of people have said on YouTube, he's like your perfect scramble partner. He'll just turn up, hit fairways, keep it in play, hold putts, and he's just very cool and calm and collected to go with it. Here's a really good drill for moving like Fat Perez. All you need is a towel and an alignment rod. Now this one I explained in the Rick Shields video last week. Keeps the arms in front of the body, keeps you connected. Just shove this alignment rod through your belt buckle. The arms have to stay in front of your body. They can't get behind. And then to add to that drill, just get a long towel, shove it under both armpits, and you're just gonna keep it there whilst swinging this golf club. Keeps the arms nice and locked, and then the alignment rod keeps the club in front of the body. It's just a great way of keeping you synced up, and that's two good drills that work together to get the simplicity of Fat Perez. Right, part two, but before we get into this, if you want your swing analysed, much in the same way that I'm analysing these YouTube golfers, head to the link in the description. It takes you through to my skill list page and you'll find everything you want there. For most of the people watching this video, the golf season is about to start, so this could be a great way of getting you started in the right direction. Full analysis, drills to work on, hope to see you there. So let's load up the front on view. Let me know if there's anything you can see that's out of the ordinary. Just gonna play this in normal speed. Front on view. FP has quite a bit of a tilt away from the ball, which is absolutely fine. He's got a very strong grip, but there's been great golfers that have played with strong grips. So he's probably, held the golf club that way his whole life. Generally, when someone holds a golf club that way their whole life, it's very hard to get them to change. And sometimes it's probably not worth trying to change that. So no problems there really. But he gets off the ball quite early. If you look at his head throughout the golf swing, you're gonna see quite a bit of movement. So reference it here to that cart just behind him to the right. It moves away, and then there's a big shift towards the ball. I'm going to show you this in person because it's going to be way easier to explain. And because he's pushing forward, I don't feel like he's getting the most out of his mass. And I feel like he could probably generate quite a bit more speed if he changed a couple things. Now, he may not want to, and he's swung it like this, he's probably swung it like this his whole life, and he swings it well, like I said. But if you were to put on an extra 20, 25 yards, like that's obviously going to help you as a golfer. If you were to put that on without, you know, sacrificing the accuracy that his game is about, obviously. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, I've got mid-iron in hand. He's using driver in the video, but you're going to get the gist of what I'm trying to explain. So he starts with tilts quite a long way off the ball, very strong grip, but then he'll move off of the ball, and then there'll be quite a bit of a drive towards the target. So his right foot is pushing his hips this way. You cannot generate that much power from lateral shift. The power is generated in horizontal forces and vertical forces. So if most of the pressure that you're applying to the floor is that way, so there, obviously there is still some rotation and there is still some vertical force, but it will be lessened because he's shifting so much. Now I'm just going to quickly show you Ian Woosnam. I'm showing you Ian Woosnam because FP is shorter in stature and so is Ian Woosnam, but Woosnam absolutely bombed it. For a shorter guy, he was one of the longest guys on tour. Look at his head position. Look at his body turning around that fixed head position. So there's not much lateral shift. He'll just be applying loads of force vertically and horizontally. So that's really the only thing I'd say to Fat Perez, is that he could generate more force if he didn't get off of the ball and shift as much. And I feel like it might make him arguably a little more consistent, because you're always going to have to time the amount of shift that's going on. And when your timing's not on, strike is probably going to be an issue for FP. All he'd have to do is stay in the tilts that he's created at address. He has a nice tilt with his driver, and he just needs to focus on fixing that head position and creating a bigger turn around a fixed head position, which just allows more rotation and more vertical and horizontal forces. Really as simple as that. I do see it as a flaw because I feel like he could get more yardage out of his action, and he might be slightly more consistent with strike. So there we go, that's the analysis of Fat Perez. Absolute legend, really enjoy watching his content, and a great golf swing. But hopefully there's a few takeaways that you can get from that. How to move your swing in a direction that's way more simple, and also a couple ways to hit the golf ball further. And yeah, golf season around the corner, head to the link in the description. And finally, let me know which YouTube golfer you want to see next.